Oh man, these guys are just trash. Terrible. Take and take, and if takes, I take. If takes queen e2. Come on! Oh my god! That is why now you resign sometimes. Oh, voila. I didn't even have to make any moves. That's what it is. But yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, for top level chess is very brutal because you basically have to keep a certain ranking in the world in order to get invitations to tournaments. And so like you aren't playing in the same kind of way that you were when you were a little bit younger. It's also important to note that because like for anybody who's been around chess, or like even if you're newer to chess and you see videos of me, people will notice that I'm substantially happier now when I'm playing chess than I was even like 3 years ago. Like if you look at me 3 years ago, I was very surly, very unhappy. I almost never smiled when I was playing the heck, I just wondered. I gotta move. What am I doing? MC8. Yeah, now I've actually made a hash out of this game. Okay. Oh, he blunders. He plays queen c6, which is a mistake. If he played queen c7, I would have lost. Maybe not lost, but I would have had to actually work for it. Yeah, so as I was saying, I mean, that's the thing, is that like if people look at my demeanor playing chess now versus 3 years ago, like I'm generally always in a good mood. I'm always generally happy, and that's very different than that's very different than 3 years ago. Like you see you see a lot of people, like very rarely do chess players actually look happy, which is kind of sad. But again, when you're playing and you really, the only thing is like making money, and you have to make sure you keep your world ranking to keep getting those invitations to tournaments. It's very hard to be super positive. Very hard. Classic right triangle, of course. Weren't the last two events professional events? Yeah, but that's not my point. Is I'm saying I play for fun. Like I'm just a streamer. I just have fun, enjoy the game, and that's that. Now I'm gonna trap the bishop, put it in, or the rook, and put it in jail. Let's go here. I can obviously take with the king or the pawn. I don't actually know which one's right, but I'm taking with the king just so I have two connected passed pawns here, and now I just win the game. I mean, basically I don't have to worry about a lot of things, so it's easier to play good chess, and it's easier to enjoy the game itself. Let's go a4. Knowing you financial stability is one of the biggest calming factors of the pyramid of needs. Yeah, I mean, because it is true. Like I said before, if you play, let's just say you play Grand Chess, or you have like bad results. Like I could even just bring up 2700 chess after the game, and I probably will, just because we've been doing this for a little bit. But I'll give you guys a good example. Let me see, who's a good example. Play a6 here. There's a nip Marco for the prime. I'm gonna play bishop e2 here, maybe knight d2. Just keep it simple. What's wrong with Levon's game? I mean, Levon is, chess is tough. He's getting older. Lot of different things. But Levon is actually a great example as well. Take with the queen. There goes the pony. GG's. Let's just take the pawn here and take with the bishop. I think chess.com should sell title icons for $6 per month. No, I don't think chess.com's in the business of doing. Oh wait, oh my, for a second I thought he had queen takes f2. Luckily it's the rook and queen. Okay, for a second I looked at that wrong. I thought he had a queen on the f file and he could go here, but the queen and the rook are set up differently. Never mind, it's castle. Thank you so much to Abo Glenn for the prime. Thanks so much to Abo Glenn, appreciate it. Thank you. Move the king out of the way. Oopsies, there goes the queen. All right, you guys, I'm gonna take a short break, go use the restroom, I'll come back, and then we'll keep going to speedrun. Give me a second. And here we go, let's keep going. Thanks so much to Crossman for the 32, Silverthorn X for the prime. Thanks so much to My Tree for the prime, Speedy Minecraft for the $6, appreciate it. Do you see the new chess bots? By the way, you are the reason I went back playing chess tournaments. Awesome, thank you. I have not seen chess bots, no. So again, like I said, that's why it's very difficult. Whereas for me, when I play the tournament, like, you know, as an example, like look at the Fisher Random World Championship. That last game against Nepo, the Armageddon game, was basically worth $70,000. Winner gets 150, loser gets like 85. That's like maybe not 70 to 65, I think, to be super precise. But that's a lot of money. That's more than you're going to earn from almost any other chess tournament. So they're generally going to be a lot of nerves, a lot of pressure, and you're going to worry about things. Whereas like for me, I just don't care. I don't worry about such things anymore, which of course in turn means that I play much better chess. Seems like it would be easy enough to band together and make a change. What changed? There aren't enough sponsors, you guys. It's not about a change. It's that there aren't enough sponsors. The Grand Chess Tour is as good as it gets in chess. It's not about sponsors. I mean, or some other thing. It's just sponsors don't exist. They exist for online chess, but they do not exist for over the board in the same kind of way. Thank you so much to Kingle McCringleberry for the 7. Thank you to Jaragorn for the prime. Thank you so much to Aragorn. Play h4 here and just castle and play f6. Now, of course, with Meltwater, it's changed. Obviously, with the online events, it's a little bit different now, but still, the general point I think still holds. Take the pawn on c4 here. I don't know. d4 is weak. Queen d5. Do you see yourself becoming an over-the-board sponsor? It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. I mean, I would say it's possible, but at this point, I don't really have a strong idea. There's a knight, and now we're going to win the game. So it's going to take somebody to win the Powerball. I mean, kind of, yeah. It would take someone winning the Powerball and then literally being like, okay, I'm just going to shovel like 20 million in chess to help chess at all levels. That's probably what it requires. Something along those lines. There's only one tournament right now that's kind of doesn't exist at the moment, that like if there was an opportunity to do something with sponsorship, I would maybe be interested. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna lolly him. I'm gonna lolly him on the diagonal or battery him. He can cut the battery, but then I lolly him with h3 and queen g2. It lets me battery mate instead. Play a4, maybe just e6 here. You can't make a good income playing opens. No, you guys, and the reason you can't is because you're not guaranteed to win. Like if I played every strong open in the world right now, I would probably finish in the top. I would probably finish in the top 5 most of the time, but I'm not. But generally, all the money is in the top prize. And once you have like multiple way ties for like second, third place, that money gets chopped up very quickly. Like say you tie for third place in the tournament or second place, even for that matter. If you have $50,000, but or not 50, but like you have $30,000, but it's chopped up 5 ways. It already like is not that much, and you only have a handful of opens during the year anyway. So you have to win all the time, and no one's going to win all the time, and you run the risk of losing rating points if you don't do very well. So it's yeah, it's just very difficult. It's very difficult. I'm gonna go knight c6 now. He does get the right idea to castle the king. I'm gonna put the knife on c4, create a connect 4. Just win first place every time. It's easy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, every time. Yeah. I guess I will just castle here. Just play unrated, right? Yeah. Does anybody farm small money tournaments? You can try, but again, like I said, it's very difficult. Like I'll give you an example of tournaments that I farmed, and I did very well because I have a career record of 28-0 playing in Japan. I played the Japan, I think they call it Japanese League or Japanese Open, whatever it was. I played 4 years in a row. Every single time I won all 7 games. So I have a perfect record in Japan. I think it was 7, maybe it was 6. I think it was 7. Someone could check on FIDE, of course. But I think it was 7 rounds. So I have a undefeated record in Japan. I'm perfect score. But if I had drawn like even one of those games, like 1 or 2 of those games, that would have ruined everything. Like I would have lost like 5 points in every single one of those one of those games that I drew. And there was a game against the 2100 that I was drawing too, and I was like, I think I was like 2650 at the time or something. There was a game I was losing. Bowling Japanese GMs don't exist. There are a couple of like people of Japanese descent, myself included, who are grandmasters, but there are no grandmasters in Japan itself. The only people who are grandmasters of Japanese descent are myself, Joel Lotier. There's this guy Paul Motwani, I think, as well, but there are only a handful of grandmasters who are of Japanese descent. Play A4 here. They're probably more focused on shogi, or go shogi for sure. Yeah. What the heck? Okay, I don't know what James Horner is doing. Robert James Horner is doing here. Me trying to lose. This guy should probably go back to making soundtracks. But I think this guy isn't James Horner some like soundtrack dude? Did he do Avatar or something? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he did Avatar. Go back to D3 here. Thanks so much to Martz from the UK for 16 months. Thanks so much to Martz. I don't think South Korea has any grandmasters either. South Korea doesn't. No, James Horner, didn't he do the soundtrack for Avatar, or am I crazy? Maybe I'm just insane. That's always the most likely possibility. Oh, he did Braveheart too? Okay. Yeah, so in Japan, shogi is a big deal. I don't know, Knight C3. I don't even know what's best when I do it. Oh, Horner died in 2015. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, in Asia, China obviously is, you know, everybody and their brothers are grandmaster, but Japan doesn't have GMs. South Korea doesn't have GMs. It's like basically China, and that's it. Whoa, what is that? I just take the queen. Philippines has like 5 or 6 GMs, I think. None of them are like world class, but they definitely have some GMs. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. Philippines has like Mark Prague. They have Leonardo Barbosa. You have Eugene Torre, of course, the famous GM. You have Wesley So, obviously, of Philippine descent. But beyond that, I feel like there are probably like 2 or 3 others. Thank you so much, Champagne for the Prime. Thank you so much, Champagne for the Prime. Wait, where did he go? Oh, he did something else. There we go. I'm just gonna play this like a actually no, H5 maybe isn't so bad after all, because like Alpha Zero loves to push the H pawn. Thanks so much to Bob Vance for 7 months. Actually, all computers love pushing wing pawns these days. So I'm playing this sort of like a semi-trash, except my pawn is on H5 here. This castle here looks normal, but I have a bad pawn on H5 that doesn't belong. Thank you so much for the snipage for the prime. Let's go knight g4. I'm gonna try to attack him again. I have a fish hook in classic Forsen style, so we got the fish hook kind of in play a little bit. Funny thing is, I don't think anyone else adopted that term, although maybe Forsen only said that to me specifically. Use that phrase, the fish hook. Go here and back, I guess. For your next OTV tournament, please wear the glass. No, you can't, because honestly, you could be cheating. Just a sad reality. I mean, I totally would if I could, but you can't, because again, it's basically like pens, watches are not allowed. Pens and watches aren't allowed. What else is not allowed? Sunglasses aren't allowed. Normal glasses, I don't think they can say no to that, because I mean, that's just a basic thing. But yeah, no wallets either, right? No wallets. Yeah, so those are basically the three things. Like no electronics, obviously, like no wallets, nothing like that. So unfortunately you can't do it. Can you wear Google Glass? Yeah, funny. I think everyone knows what Google Glass is anyway. But the funny thing is, all the way back in 2014, 1 second, let me win the game first. I'm gonna play b3. 2014, I think it was still allowed, kind of. Let's go bishop b2. I'm playing like a weird hippopotamus here. It's like a hippopotamus, but I've kind of extended on both wings a little bit more than I should. He goes d4. I'm just gonna play e4, which creates a huge problem on f4. Let's go knight bd2. I guess I'll just play king e2, play like a bomb cloud. Pacemakers aren't allowed. Honestly, I don't know how like actual like medical devices work. I have no clue on any of that stuff. No clue on mechanical stuff. But I do remember at some point, I remember Vishy Ananda actually. He asked me because he'd never played with these regulations or some tournament. I think Vishy is like, so can I actually take a pen or can I like not take a watch, or like what can I even take? Because even for Vishy, it was so weird because of course Vishy grew up during the age with like no technology. So it was like, I remember he's asking me, he's like, so I can take a pen, I can take a watch, or I can't take anything, or like what it was like. As long as it's crank operated, yeah. What are your long-term plans of streaming? I don't really have a plan. I'm just streaming, and that's what I do. I mean, I'm a streamer. I will be a streamer, so that's that. Streamer first, chess player. I moonlight as a chess player, and that's just my career path. It was a5. I mean, I don't want to trade like this, but it's the easiest way. Oh my gosh, the knight guards the rook. What am I doing? He doesn't see it, luckily. Super GM, by the way. Welcome to the Hikaru effect. Oh, poor guy. Yeah. And now it's just like, it's funny. Everything just falls apart like immediately. It's just like it all just collapsed in like all of 2 seconds. Why don't I like the London? I don't dislike it as an opening. I just mean like I feel like it's kind of overrated at the lower levels. Higher levels, I get why people play it, but at the lower levels, it's not an end-all be-all the way people think it is. Does your level go down when you play these players? Not really. How do pro chess players feel about a streamer being the #2 in the world? I don't know. I mean, I think it's mixed. Now I'm gonna stop the clock for a second. So because I was referring to 2014, like you guys, you have to see this picture. Like, look at this bad boy. Like back when it was okay. Like this is what it. This is like look. This is what like I used. This is like old Hikaru. This is a game I think I played against Magnus because it looks like a King's Indian with a knight on f6, bishop on g7. So back in the old days you could actually wear sunglasses. Yeah, that's the real disrespect speedrun. Exactly. Yeah, true. No, you're not allowed to anymore. You back then, yeah, there was nothing against it, but now you can't do it, of course. So sad, but it is what it is. Okay, let's keep going. All right, I'm gonna just play B4 because this guy looks like serious. Karthik from New York. I think it's actually John Wayne for someone. How's the FIDE rating speedrun? I'm doing well in that one. I mean, I haven't played obviously in a while, but yeah. No, it's disallowed because frankly, I mean, like sunglasses aren't needed. And frankly, I mean, it's true that probably in this day and age, it's possible to like put something in sunglasses. I don't know. Play D3, maybe knight B2, knight B3. Why am I wearing sunglasses? Because this is not a sanctioned over the board tournament, and we're doing a speed run, and they're, you know, it's an ode to a certain somebody. Oh man, these guys are just trash. Terrible. Sunglasses chess, yeah. But of course, Viktor Korchnoi, the famous Soviet chess player, later played for Switzerland. He, I think when he played chess, like against Anatoly Karpov, he wore sunglasses because there was a guy in the audience who was a hypnotist. So he didn't want to get hypnotized by Karpov's like voodoo guy from the Soviet Union, and so he wore sunglasses during the game. So it's not like it hasn't happened before. Yeah, Karpov. I don't know if it's actually true, but like he claimed that Karpov had a like a hypnotist or something. Now I sound like Levy. No, but it's just a known story though. It's just known. Go bishop A2. Any hypnotists in chat? I don't know. You guys moving pretty fast. We're playing cheese time, right? So things are just Tiberius for this tier 1. Things are just Tiberius. Let's go E4 here. Just keep it simple. I'm sounding like Yasser. Well, I think that's how everyone starts to sound at some point. It's like as you get older, like you start becoming like you're trying to explain all your great stories from your career as a chess player. Like I think that inevitably happens to everybody sooner or later. Like I've never thought of myself as being a particularly good storyteller, for example, but like as I get older, it's like I have these stories, like kind of like Yasser has all those same stories. What the heck just happened? Didn't the clock just stop or something really weird just happened there? I don't know, it felt really weird. I don't know how many games I'm getting it right now in the speedrun. I'm guessing I'm getting... That's a terrible move. Who taught you how to play chess? My stepfather. Karpov's hypnotist guy at work. Yeah, I mean, he got hypnotized. He right away he realized he could take, but then once he saw the knight going to C4, he's like, free pawn, I can snap it, but he can't snap it. That happens in life when you want to share your experiences, maybe.